In the quiet of the night,
Ladies,
I hear a whisper
gentlemen, welcome to the Guitar Podcast.
that pulls me gently
Ooh,
through the
baby,
fire.
baby, baby.
Every chord remembers you.
Every chord remembers you.
Every note becomes
Every note becomes a name.
reaching through the frequencies, but nothing sounds
For the athletic.
the same. I feel the air.
Do you feel it? Do you feel the electric guitar in your heart? The athleticism? The crowd going wild? The amp catching fire on the stage? The smoke effects? Do you feel it? Or do you go through life like many others, not knowing why? Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, if you got it, if you have it in your heart, I need you to buckle up, because we're about to begin the most athletic stream ever. And for that, start the clock.
So Sorenzo. The world is made of silver strings and unresolved desires. I chase the tone that once was yours through broken amplifiers. You fade into the reverb, but I still can't let it win. I hear you in the distance, pulling me again. I feel the air around me tremble like a truth I can't let go. A spark inside the silence calling me back home. I'm falling through the echoes where the shadows start to glow. And every sound you leave behind is the one I can't outgrow. Oh, Mr. Sorenzo, your voice is in the undertow. I'm rising, but I'm sinking in the echoes. Echoes of Sorenzo. Hold me in the static, guide me through the dark. Every fading memory still reaches for my heart. I'm falling through the echoes, still searching for your glow. And every wave that crashes in reminds me where to go. Oh, Mr. Sorenzo, I'm lost inside your overflow. I'm standing, but I'm drifting in the echoes. Echoes of Sorenzo. Plug in the power, feel the voltage rise. Neon lightning, sparks in my eyes. Fingers on the fretboard, volume high. I'm the glitch in the system you cannot find. Crowds buzzing like a circuit overload. One strum and the whole damn room explodes. Heads are buzzing from the head, banging mosh pit flows. But I'm just getting started. Watch me flow. Ooh baby, baby. Ooh baby, baby. Ooh baby, baby. Ooh baby, baby. Electric in my veins, supercharged, but I'm still unchained. Screw classical players, let them fade. 'Cause I set the stage on fire. Shredding through the chaos like a neon blade. Boss mode riffs in a pixel arcade. Smoke rising from the amp on stage. I get you all far higher. Can you feel it? Static rising, synthesizing all my power.
Baby, 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 baby. Ooh.
Take it deeper.
Turn it up.
Turn it up.
Turn it up. Woo! Ladies, gentlemen, welcome your host with the most, Mr. Sorenzo. And we have an awesome stream for you today. Ladies and gents, I am in the mood today. Ladies and gents. I gotta tell you, I am in the mood because we have a kick-ass stream for you today. Zuhair says, evening, Sorenzo. Evening, Zuhair. How the heck are ya? How you doing? Man, we got an athletic stream today because first we're going to talk about Ed Sheeran. I'm in love with the shape of you. And PRS hooking up and going for the masses. That guitar is going for the masses. The marketing for it is going for the masses. I've never seen a marketing campaign like this. Let's talk about it. So that's the first point. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the point of painting guitars. There was an awesome article I saw the other day, and I thought, we got to talk about it. It's insane good. We're going to talk about that. Misha Mansour has a Jackson guitar, a new signature guitar, his 55th new signature guitar with Jackson. We're going to talk about that. Guitar Center and Reverb partner up in an insane business deal. We're going to talk about that. And then we're going to finish the stream, if we get the time, with Chapman Scout Legacy and a new Majesty Ernie Ball Music Man John Petrucci signature. There's a new premium model out. We're going to have a look at that. So when I tell you that this stream is going to be athletic, I'm telling you the truth. You know it. You know it. Zuhair says, I am so happy Organized my desk how I want. Room is much more minimal. Getting back into reading again. We like that. We like that. Doing some new things too in life. Ooh, baby. That's good. We like that. What are those new things, Zuhair? What are those new things? Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. So, where are we? So, let's talk about this. First of all, turn down the music. Enough. Turn it down. We're all excited. Everybody's excited. We know that now. Turn it down. Play something a little bit more mellow. We can focus. That'll be great. Okay? Something a bit more mellow and chill. Yeah. Something like that. And then we'll get the party started. Alrighty. Cool. Zuhair says, gym is one, among other things. Ah, damn, I like it. Good. That's really good. I actually started going out a little bit more often, too, so I'm going every day now, pretty much on a bit of a jog and a bit of a walk, as opposed to working like 14-hour days. It's just being in my workroom. You're doing a great thing, man. You got to keep doing it. I like it. I like what you're doing there. Dorotio says, let's get into it, Metal Maniac. What's happening, my man? How are you? Where's my camera? How you doing? Happy Saturday. How's things, man? Yeah, let's get the party started. I agree. Let's get the party started because we've got a lot to talk about today. This week, there was a lot of releases that came out this week, and it doesn't happen often. There were some valuable, like, good articles online, which doesn't really happen often. Usually more often than not, the articles you'll read online about guitars is BS. But I think we're doing great this time around. I think there was a couple of articles that were great, so we're going to talk about those. Doroteo says, I go to the gym 5 times a week before going to work. Man, hats off to your discipline. I got to learn from you there. I really should. Like, I should go to bed earlier, wake up early before work, and then hit the gym. I should do that, and I'm not. Hats off to you. I gotta learn from you there. What drives you doing that, dude? What gets you going? Like, is it just a routine that you had for a long time? Is there anything that you got going for you? Because I gotta start doing it. I'll be honest with you guys. This is like my current work hours is not sustainable. Like, I am waking up early around, I don't know, 7, 8 a.m. Hit to work, then go back, start teaching, start making content, and then practicing. And by the time I'm done, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. And then I wake up on 5-6 hours of sleep, and then rinse and repeat. And it's not sustainable. That's what I know. That I know is not sustainable. So I got to actually learn to live healthy, properly. So, yeah. How do you do that, Doroteo? You got to tell me. Oh, man. All right. Shall we get the party started? Let's do this. So, this week, there was a lot of guitar releases. A lot of guitars came out this week. Ed Sheeran and PRS finally got together, and they have a production model of the Hollow Body 1 Piezo that is a baritone, and it's not a limited edition, right? They came out with that. It comes in 3 different colors. The features are almost identical to the limited edition release. That one just has a different color, I suppose. But the thing that was really interesting about this guitar wasn't so much, in some ways, the specs of it too. I mean, a Hollow Body 1 baritone is always an interesting guitar to look at. But the thing that was really interesting about it to me was how they marketed it. Now, the method of marketing was the same, right? So you have their head of production, for example, or the head of QC doing the demo. You had Ed Sheeran himself talking about the guitar and trying to, market the guitar. But the thing, not so much the method, but the messaging behind the marketing was interesting. So there were a few things when they were doing the messaging in those videos. There was a few things that I want to highlight for you guys. The first one was that they are selling this guitar as a guitar for the masses, and in some videos even they play heavy metal on this guitar. right? Which is not something you'd expect from a hollow body or a semi-hollow body, because this guitar has a center block in there, so it's not like a complete hollow body guitar in that sense. So you got guitars that are completely hollow, and then there are some guitars that here in the center, I'll show you guys. Let me move this. Here in the center line, you guys got a block. Like you got a block in the guitar, so it's like it is hollow body, but it is kind of semi, right? So you got that going on. But you had like people playing heavy metal on it, you had people playing rock on it, and obviously you had Ed doing what Ed does on it in those videos. And that I found that really interesting. The fact that they're pushing a metal angle for a hollow body guitar was something that I did not expect, to be completely honest with you guys. So what that tells you is that they really are going for the masses. This guitar is supposed to be at least a versatile guitar, that you can do anything with it, right? Essentially, that's the angle they're pushing, right? Now, will metal players actually go for a guitar like this? I doubt it. So I don't think, I could be wrong here, I don't think, from what I know of the metal community, I don't think this would be a guitar that like would drive guitar players that are in the metal niche towards it. Interestingly enough, I have a feeling like, and this is just me, I could be wrong here. I'm just going to throw something out there and you guys let me know your thoughts. The buyer group, the buyer cohort of a guitar like this, the demographic that would find this guitar attractive, I think has a big overlap to the same group of people that bought Silver Sky in droves. And I understand that Silver Sky is like a traditional Strat guitar with 3 single coils and all that. But that's it. To me, it seems like that's the group of buyers that would probably like this guitar a lot more than heavy metal players. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's that. Anyways, so this is the guitar. Let's be honest. The stain job on it is fantastic. I love the flames on it, and I love the stain job on it. A little too much green there, but hey. Right? The pickup rings are a lot more closer to PRS Corp pickup rings, so that's kind of nice. You kind of get that visual going there as well. Right? Look at that. It's beautiful. I think they've done a fantastic job. It's just insane. Looking good. You know, the inlays, and then you got the Ed Sheeran, the same sort of a font as the album cover of Ed's, and you got the SE going on there. Fine. This is the guitar. So now, check this out again. For songwriters and shredders, right? He was like, warmth, depth, dynamic range for players who want to explore new sonic territory with lush acoustic textures. Like a piezo for metal players. Like, never seen it before. Never heard it before. Now, the pickups are not Ed Sheeran's signature pickups, by the way. Like, you would expect that, you know, when you get an artist, you get a... No. It's PRS's 8515S pickups. So, the affordable version of their famous PRS 8115. Right? So, the S1 just means that it's made abroad. It's not made in the US pickups, essentially. Right? And then they got the PRS piezo system, which makes the guitar sound like an acoustic guitar. That's what a piezo system essentially does, right? So that's that. Let's have a listen to the guitar. If you guys want to, like, I was more inclined to be honest, play this guy's video only. But I'm like, you guys probably want to hear Ed Sheeran talking about this guitar too. So let's do it. I'll play the Ed one first. Let me pause the music. And then we'll play the other guy actually talking about the guitar a little. So here we go. Doroteo says, been going to the gym since my early 20s. Heck yes. If you don't put time for your health now, you will see negative results when you get a lot older. Your health won't be good if you don't put time in your younger years. I hear you, man. You're right. That's my shortcoming. The fact that I'm not hitting the gym every day is my shortcoming. I recognize it. Maybe that's a sign. If we do have a gym that is like 20 minutes walking from my place, Maybe that's a sign. Maybe I should go after the stream and just literally sign up. I'm tempted. Maybe I should do it. Yo, Killa on Twitch. Yo Asakura on Twitch says, "Good day, everyone. Good day, my man. How are you? Good seeing you. How's things?" Alrighty, let's do this. Let me play the Ed Sheeran vid. Oops. And let me give you guys some video and audio. And then I'm in love with the shape of you guys. Push and pull like a magnet. Oof. Bars. Like, but let's be honest, the shape of you, I don't know about the lyrics. Every part of it, like there are some nice parts there too, but man, that rhythm and that beat is catchy. It's so catchy. All right, shall we? Let's listen to Ed. See what Ed has to say about his new guitar.
I think I was sort of like 10 or 11 when I was like aware of PRS, and it was because I was into like metal music, and all of the bands that I listened to, the guitarist used a PRS. PRS has always been the classiest guitar. It's always looked the coolest. It's always been like it's just beautifully made. All of my friends that I grew up with at school who played guitar, it's like the guitar that they bought when they first got their first jobs, and it was like the pinnacle of electric guitars, I think. Hi, I'm Ed Sheeran, and this is my PRS SE Hollow Body 1 Baritone. The first time I bought a PRS and took it into the recording studio, I found like I didn't need to like swap guitars. I had a whole rack of electric guitars that kind of then just weren't needed anymore. I probably have.
This is, by the way, just a quick pause there. This bit is not so much of a marketing schmuck. It's actually like a real thing. You hear that day in, day out from session musicians, from studio managers and all that, of how the PRS is the core model is predominantly what they talk about, but he's talking about an SE, but how stable they are. So when it comes to recording and session work and things of that nature, you hear this all the time. This is actually not me being a fan of PRS or him selling the guitar. Genuinely, like if you watch interviews of session players and recording studio workers and things of that nature, there's always a PRS around. There's two guitars you hear all the time. One is PRS because of stability, and the other one is a Telecaster because of its rawness, because of its honesty in playing. Like whatever you play on a Tele comes out the way you play. So these are two guitars that like session players, recording staff, things of people like that have it all the time handy. So he's not lying about that.
I have two PRSs in the studio, and that's kind of all we use because they sort of fit the bill of all the things that I would want on an electric. I had been in touch with Beverly from PRS for, I guess, like 10 years. It was definitely pre-Silver Sky, I think, the first time that we linked up, because I remember when John launched the Silver Sky, he gave me a prototype model, and we were definitely in touch by then. The model that I have that looks like this, that isn't a baritone, it came around the time my first child was born. Hollow body with the cherries as the inlay. Probably my most memorable performance of it, though, is I played Bad Habits at the Brit Awards with Bring Me the Horizon, and it was like a big rock moment. That was a time where I could, I guess, showcase the type of music that I grew up playing.
So this is, again, it sits so much. The reason I didn't want to go this far in the video, but just showed it to you guys for you to see how they're marketing this guitar. About like, all right, well, it's gonna be acoustic sound, like cute at Sheeran-y, to distortions, a bit rock sound, a bit of a bit of spice to it, and then Bring Me the Horizon guys come in and just scream their lungs out, and you get a high distortion, crazy tight sound. Like that's where they're going for, and it's surprising to me. This is not. I don't know, man. I don't know how much this would actually work in terms of marketing. In a scenario, especially in a scenario like in a situation like in the current market, that it's a cold market. Because right now, let's be honest, it is a cold market. It's buyer's market right now, right? You would think that the companies would go for laser sharp, just focused on cohorts. But again, PRS did it with Silver Sky, so they probably know something that we don't. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, Ed Sheeran listeners, how many of them are heavy metal players or people that are willing to buy guitars for you? I don't know. Anyways, so that was that. That was the guitar itself, right? Now, talking about the specs of the guitar, it's not so much. There's not many surprises here going on. You have the adjustable stop tail bridge, which is the PRS's stop tail. It's like a mix of the two pieces of a two-nomadic bridge. It's kind of like that, and it's a wraparound. so you get because you have the you have the bridges, you have the saddles in a two-nomadic bridge, and then you can either underwind it or overwrap it, right? Underwrap it or overwrap it, and they've done they brought the three together in essentially one piece of bridge. There you have the PRS design tuners, which are, if you have a look at it, the tuning keys are very lightweight plastic, and that wasn't a cost-saving measure. Even in the cores now, they have really lightweight plastic. They believe that it helps with the resonance of the neck. 8515S pickups are nothing new. There's nothing I have to tell you about these other than the fact that the pickup rings in all the new, or most of the new SE models, are now very similar to the core pickup rings. And I think that's a great thing that they had to do, I think, earlier even. Like, it makes perfect sense for them to have something like that. Because the thing is, at the end of the day, it's the core guitars that set the price for the SEs. It's always the more expensive guitars that set the price for the more affordable model, right? It's always the case. That's why you have the expensive one coming out and then the affordable version of it, right? So that's what that. Yo Killa on Twitch says "Shape of You" is his song for his for this PRS of his. That sounds like something I would sing for a PRS guitar. By the way, I'll tell you guys a funny story about Strandberg after this. Ola Strandberg commented on my video on Instagram. I'll tell you guys about it after this. So anyways, now as far as the specs on this goes, you have a hollow body flat back body construction. So as opposed to a hollow body guitar that is rounder a little bit in its body construction, this one has a flat back, more controlled, right? Less air resonance inside the body, you would think. Top wood is flame maple veneer, mahogany body. Man, the PRS veneers are awesome, honestly. Backwood is mahogany, and the top carve is a shallow violin carve. So shape-wise, very similar to a Custom 24, right? It's not like the Gibson ES models that you think about, or the PRS hollow body 2 guitars, right? It's a little different. Comes with cream binding, 22 frets baritone guitar, 27.7 inches in scale. Comes with PRS standard fret wire, and for those who don't know, PRS standard fret wire actually is closer to nickel silver as opposed to stainless steel. And for some reason, even in the core models, unless like you order it differently in private stock, even in the core models they use their own fret wire and not stainless steel, which is an interesting thing. If you guys have done refret jobs, Nickel silver is a lot easier to work with because it is hard, but it's still a softer material than stainless steel. But then obviously stainless steel has a much longer life. When you polish it, it's nicer, shinier, and your strings slide better on it. What I learned from doing, for example, gold fret wire, not the Evo, but because the Evo was discontinued, but the StuMax gold one, which is like similar to Evo gold. With those ones are also closer to nickel silver, but they like lose their color really quickly. Like 2-3 days after you do the job, the gold becomes a little dull, and so every time you restring, you're gonna have to polish those frets. But yeah, it's interesting how PRS, use their own and not nickel silver. I'm not stainless steel, rather. Sorry. Anyways, you have a multiply maple neck, and that's kind of good, right? Because multiply usually translate to more stability, right? You have a wide, fat neck shape. Again, not a surprise given the fact that Ed Sheeran is an acoustic guitar player, right? So not a surprise there at all. Rosewood fretboard. Neck depth on the first fret is what, 7/8 of an inch? What is that in centimeters? And millimeters? 22, 25. Yeah. So it is a thick guitar neck for sure, right? It is on the thicker side. 10 inches fretboard radius, not a surprise there. PRS being PRS. And then the neck is a set neck. Nothing more to really talk about, is there? So you got the adjustable stop-tail piezo. You have the pickups that we've already talked about, and the piezo volume. So nothing crazy. The strings are 1468, again classic, and the standard tuning on a guitar like this is B standard, and again this is not a surprise at all. So this is everything there is pretty standard, and it comes with its own gig bag. There we go. That's your controls. Yeah. No coil splittage, by the way. No coil splittages at all. So humbucker, and piezo. And the volume only active when plugged into mixed piezo output jack. So there's 2 output jacks on these guitars, right? Now the colors are winners. Love it. Look at that. We saw this one. We saw this. We didn't see this one. This is okay, like old school traditional look if you want to go for it. But look at this one. I love this. I don't know. There's something about pink guitars that I like, and pink is not a guy's color. Like I don't know, or maybe it's just me. Like I don't know if I would like many things in my world to have a pink color in them. It feels like to me that it's not a color for a guy. But man, this guitar looks awesome. The color of this guitar is insane good. Maybe if I sell my Hello Kitty guitar, I'll probably get this instead. I'll use the money for. Yeah. So there we go. Yeah. Dorothy says market is frozen in time. It is a cold market, man. Yo Killa, hey, what's happening, man? How are ya? Yo Killa, welcome back to YouTube. It is already a cold market, and still they went for a baritone. I don't know about that decision. He always tend to lean towards being different, and I get that. The baritone, I don't. I hear you on that. I think you have a point. I think the fact that Ed Sheeran, because Ed Sheeran, like, there's not that many stars right now in the music world bigger than Ed Sheeran. Let's be honest, right? So I think Ed Sheeran being Ed Sheeran and have the power of Ed Sheeran in terms of like the star power, I think compensates for that a little. What I think this also does is that it introduces new electric guitar buyers coming from the acoustic guitar world. So in some ways, if you think about it, PRS, instead of fighting with other companies over the existing electric guitar players, right? So instead of trying to fish in the same pond, and compete with other companies, they're getting new clients introduced in their world. Do you know what I mean? Introduced to their world. This is what PRS is doing here. Do you know where I'm coming from? Because a lot of times, like, you know, companies are going for existing players. Like someone's already an electric guitar player, and now Fender, Chapman, Ernie Ball, whoever, Gibson, they try to take more of that share. With this guitar, PRS is introducing new electric guitar players into the market. Right? It's a smart strategy in a cold market like this, in a lot of ways, right? If the current buyers are cold, well, let's find new buyers. Do you know what I mean? This is where I think it's going. And Ed Sheeran is the perfect person to do it. Like, who better than Ed Sheeran to do this? I think this is the purpose of the guitar. And to an acoustic guitar player, I understand it. Like, I get it. The baritone bit, it didn't make much of a sense to me either. But think of it like this. To an acoustic guitar player, people don't even know what baritone is. They're like, oh, Ed Sheeran, electric guitar, and looks good. I want one. You know what I mean? And I get to have an electric guitar too. And PRS said, Ed Sheeran said, it not only can play pop, but he can play rock and metal with it too. He can shred with it too, so I can do whatever I want. Give me one. You know what I mean? That's, I think, where things are going. Yeah. Doroteo says exactly. Yeah. Ryu, how are ya? Ryu says, how has the splatter paint black one been selling? What was that, a limited run? Yeah, that was a limited run, and they sold out. They sold out really quick on that one, actually. So no, that one's already sold out. For those who don't know, this is what Ryu's talking about. I'll show you guys. There was and we covered it on the stream too. This one. So this one, the splatter one, is actually Ed Sheeran's design himself. Like, he does painting on the side, and they use the design of one of his paintings on this guitar and they painted it. Yeah. Yeah, so that limited edition one ran out real quick. And this is the production model, essentially. Yeah. So, do you guys want to hear this guitar in isolation? I really dig this. Like, the coloring on this is insane, by the way. I don't know why, man. What is it about pink guitars? I got 2 of them at home. I don't know what is it about pink guitars that I... Ryu says Sorenzo need a baritone. Look, man, if I want to buy... Honestly, I should maybe like sell a guitar and get this instead. I'm not going to buy more guitars. I already have enough at home. Like, if I want... But this looks really good. I'm buying it purely on the looks. Isn't that a dumb way to go? For the channel purposes, of course, says Ryu. Oh, my man. Tempting, aren't you? Ay, ay, ay. No, look, if I'm to get a guitar, any new guitar, I'm selling one. I have to sell 1 or 2 of the guitars. Otherwise, it really goes out of hand. Like, my ceiling is 10, and there's been times that I've not been really true to that ethos of just only max of 10. But if I'm to get this one, I'll probably have to sell 1 or 2. Yeah. Yo, Killa says, I hope it works. I am a Sheeran fan, and I hope for the best. Me being a fan and a player, though, I'd wish the best to Ed and PRS. Would rather go for the Hello Kitty Squire. Fair enough. Look, between this guitar and the Hello Kitty Squire, I think the Hello Kitty one is more metal. Yeah. Doroteo says puro PRS. Hell yeah, pure PRS. This is an interesting guitar, man. It's different for sure. How much is it sold for right now? I wonder. I didn't check the price of this thing. Let's check it out. Good old Sweetwater. PRS Ed Sheeran. All right, here we go. $1,500. So only $100 cheaper than the limited edition one, which kind of makes sense. It's just a paint job and the inlays that are different. Right. And it's coming soon, so it's on pre-order for $1,500. Man, it's expensive for an Indonesian-made guitar, isn't it? Like $1,500 is a lot of dough for an Indonesian-made guitar. What is happening in this world right now? The guitar world is insane. Like, why? What is the yeah, okay. Man, it's insane. No way. No, not happening. Like, unless I sell a guitar or two and I use it to finance this, I'm not spending $1,500 on it. Yeah, I don't know. As much as I like PRS, and as much as this guitar is interesting, and I love the stain job on this, and the flames of the flames look awesome too. As much as I love it, I don't know how I feel. It used to be the case that when you bought an Indonesian-made guitar, it was sub-1,000. Back in not long ago. It's not ancient history like I remember it. 1,500 is a lot, man. I don't know. Yeah. Yo, Killa says Indo-made. Dang. Yeah, like this is made in Cort. Cortec made it. You might be able to even see it on the headstock here. Yeah, definitely Cortec. Look at that. Yeah, CT on the code. It's Cortec made. It's made in the master builder because Cortec has like many buildings in their factory, and those like each building has like levels. Like you got the standard quality build, high quality, and then the master buildings. PRS stuff, all the PRS stuff at Cortec, even the SECE, the cheapest SE model, are made in the master build building. So I understand that how they're like, you know, Asian made guitars are a little bit more expensive than other ones, other companies. That makes perfect sense. The quality of build is just better because they're making it in that. Like compare that, for example, with a Cortec build, Jackson, or other models, other companies. But yeah, 1,500 is a lot. You would think if you want to drag Ed Sheeran fans into this, you would think you'd bring the price a little down. Now I'm casting doubt on my own theory that maybe this guitar was to, you know, bring more electric guitar players into the market, like convert acoustic players to electric players. And I don't know if you can do that with $1,500 on a guitar. Yeah. Like how many people can afford $1,500 on a guitar? I don't know, man. This is ridiculous. This is weird. Yeah. Sean, morning. How are you, man? From the comment sections to live. How are you, brother? Happy Sunday. Yokilla says, hella expensive for an Indo-made mass prod, though. I agree with you. 100% agree with you. So, all right, I wonder, how much is the Holcomb signature? Not the US core one. That one's insane expensive, but like the core one is like $5,000. Get out of here. So that one isn't. Jesus Christ. I bought this guitar myself, I think for $9.99. I bought this guitar, one version older of it, for $9.99 US. Or $1,100, like $1,099, either $9.99 or $1,099. Not long ago, like 3 years ago. This guitar. Yeah, it's insane how the price has gone up. And I get it. There's like a war and fuel prices and the war in Russia, the war in the Middle East. All of that I know like has impacts on everything, but. That's a lot of, from $9.99 or $1,100 to, or $1,000 or $1,100 to like $1,345. That's a big jump. It's like a 15%, 20% jump. Yeah. All right, enough about guitar prices. enough about guitar prices. That, my friends, is the PRS piezo guitar. Just a quick check. I'll make it really quick because I think we spent too much time on this. If you guys want to hear this baby.
Greetings, friends.
Greetings, friends. If you guys want to hear this guitar.
My name is Brian Ewald.
And I'm going to jump through. Like, I'm going to make it really quick. So, greeting, friends. We saw this. There we go. Single cable.
So next what I'd like to do is demonstrate the difference between the single cable method and the reverb. For starters, one play. Processing the signal.
I want the sound, man. Quit talking. Right, so this is just the piezo thing. Single cable, one jack input, right? This is a bit of a mix.
With the two cable method, things get really fun. You can run both the electric sound and the acoustic sound to different places. Let's say your electric sound into this amp, and the acoustic could be run into a full range cabinet, straight to the PA, or as we're doing, into a DI box right to our recording interface. It really can sound like two guitars, and you can process them separately, which is awesome. So to do that, remember this cable right now is running to the Archon. I'm going to move that over to the magnetic output and take the one running to the DI and plug into the first jack. I'm going to go through those same sounds where you'll hear the piezo by itself straight to the recording interface. You're going to hear a blend of both together. And then when I get to just the electric pickups, I'm going to kick on some gain so you can hear how they sound blended.
This is interesting. Yeah, this is what I wanted you guys to hear. That's all, and then we'll move on. So essentially, the idea is that because you have two jacks and you can go for the complete acoustic magnetic sound versus having the pickups and, doing your normal things with distortion and whatever not, you have a lot of versatility in what types of sounds that you can get out of this guitar is the idea, right? That's what just wanted to show you guys that before we move on away from this guitar. So overall, man, expensive guitar, interesting guitar. I don't know if anyone would be willing to buy it for like $1,500. But yeah, Ryu says talking about expensive. Yeah. Now, there were some comments I missed earlier in the chat. Ryu says, has Sensei seen the Mesa Boogie Boutique amp custom built config daily on the Sweetsmitsu site? No. Let's go to Sweetsmitsu. Mesa Boogie Boutique. I have not seen it. What are we talking about here? Custom built config daily on the... No. Dealer specific. Is it this one? That's a new one there. Which one is it? Which one is I'm assuming we're talking about a head here. Look at that. Like, I'm not too crazily knowledgeable with amps, given the fact that I sold my soul and not sold. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm mostly on modulars now. But look at that. Oof. They call it the British. They call it the British Cabernet. Black carbon, sweet water exclusive. And then you have the black one. I really dig this. Nice. Okay. No, didn't see this. Is this the one that you were talking about, Ryu? It is on the Sweetwater side custom order. Right. How do I get to that? How do you get to the custom order page on this? Is there a search thing? Yeah, I'm assuming custom order. Meza Boogie. I could be missing something here. Doroteo says I can almost buy an Ibanez RG Prestige with this. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. You're right. Yokilla asks, would you ever, Mr. Sorenzo, $5K USD for a core, even if you can't afford it? Would I ever buy a $5K for a PRS core? Look, I have guitars that are more expensive than that. I have a guitar at home that is much more expensive than that. Would I? Here's the thing. I'll give you just an example, right? Just talking about the core to answer your question. The PRS whole comp core model is, it depends. Okay, so you have to ask yourself, why are you buying a guitar? Like if I'm to buy a guitar. So I'll tell you guys the latest PRS guitar that caught my eye, that I was like, oh wow, this is like interesting, is this guitar. Mark Holcomb's core guitar. This Cobalt Smoke Burst. This one, not the other ones, right? This one really, we talked about it on the stream too, right? Now, I'm like, okay, this is my thought process. I'm like, wow, I found it interesting. Why did I find it interesting? So let me go through the specs. Well, there's two things about this guitar that I found interesting. Number one is just PRS Core's carves, the violin carve that they have. I think it's ergonomic. I think it's comfortable to play. The second thing, and the number one thing that really got my attention, was their use of a mango top wood. Let me move myself here. You guys have a look at the pattern of this wood. This is mango, and you don't see that many guitars with mango. See that? The pattern is just beautiful. It's insane good, right? But this on its own is not a good enough reason for you to blow $5,000, $5,200 a year. Right? So you get where I'm coming from here. And then when I think about it even more, the pickups on this are the exact same pickups on the SE guitar. Right? So Mark Holcomb's signature, for those who don't know, the early models had the Seymour Duncan Alpha and Omega, which I found them actually to be better. And then the newer version is the Scarlet and the Scourge. Scarlet and Scourge are the neck and bridge pickup on this guitar and the current Mark Holcomb SMEs. Seymour Duncan, Scarlet, and Scourge. This is the pair, right? And I had the new model. So Scarlet, Scourge, Seymour, Duncan, which are Mark Holcomb signatures, right? Here we go. These are the two pickups that are on these guitars, on the SE and the Core. So the two guitars are going to sound almost identical, and I had the SE and I sold it. Right? So overall, as interesting as this is to me, I don't think it's enough reason for me to, like, there's not much more new things to it. So would I spend $5,000 on a guitar with only a mango top? I don't think so. Right? So I told you guys I have a guitar that is more expensive than this, but that guitar is different. Is like, it's a Washburn N4 limited edition guitar that they don't produce anymore. And the neck heel, as you guys know, with the Washburn N4s is unique. The wood is Corina and Koa. So golden Koa and African Corina. The wood is unique. The heel is unique. I modded the pickups myself. That's a special guitar to me. I don't know, man. You just gotta understand like the reason behind why you're doing it, and hold yourself back to not blow money on things you don't need. I tell you guys one thing again, talking about. I don't want to spend too much time talking about price tags and all that. I will not be buying a first-hand guitar for a while. So my last 2 purchases of guitars were both second-hand guitars. And I got a really good deal for both. It's a buyer's market. First-hand guitars are freaking expensive right now. And second-hand, I think, is the way to go. You can even see that. Like, stores are now selling more second-hand guitars. Like, big businesses, big guitar businesses. Guitar Center, more and more going down that road. Moms and pop stores across the world are starting to stock second-hand guitars, pre-loved guitars. That's the way to go. I will not be buying a first-hand guitar for a very long time. And if I'm to buy a second-hand guitar, I'll be selling one guitar first. Like, at least. It's rough, man. Yeah. Doroteo says, Paul Gilbert is performing this Thursday in my hometown. Hell yeah. Alongside with Greg Koch. Nice. Ha! Okay. You should go, Doroteo. You should go. You should go and hear that Greg Koch reverend guitar sound in person, by the way. You should go. I have, by the way, tell you guys, talking about live shows. I booked 3 shows to go to. The first one is Julian Lage is coming to Melbourne, and I'm going to watch Julian Lage live, and he's amazing. He's just a great jazz player. Trivium and Lamb of God are coming down in October, and I'm going to go see them in October. I have a stage pass for Trivium. So Trivium and Lamb of God are performing. I'm going to that. And then Cradle is coming down too, which I'm going to go see the show. So July to October period is going to be great for me. Live shows, do it, Doroteo. The point is, got a chance to see them live? Man, do it. In the age of AI, seeing people live is a treat. Seeing non-AI generated content is a treat. Lives, anything that somebody goes live stream, live in-person interactions is a treat. And a live show, you see somebody on the stage, is a damn treat. Go see them, dude. Go see them. Yo, Kila says he always do this whenever it is a piezo he's introducing. On point as always. Yeah. Good point. Right, he says it might be US only. It could be. I'm talking about the Mezzo-Boogie. Doroteo asks, mango is more like orange yellow? Mango on its own, the color of the wood, you're right, it has a yellowish thing to it. That's such a good point you brought up, dude. Mango wood guitar. You're absolutely right. Check this out, guys. So this is the color of mango. Oh, this is like a perfect representation. Look at that. Here we go. Give me a second. Excuse me. So this is it. Look at that. This is a mango color on a guitar. I'll share my screen. Here we go. So that's the color. Let's see if we can find a timbre. There we go. Like, that's the color. Right? So the color of the wood, the reason it's important is that it impacts how much you can stain, like what colors you can use for the stain jobs. You know, because it blends with the color of the wood itself too, right? The color of the wood has an impact. So in that sense, it's a really interesting point you brought up. Yeah. You know where, guys, Doroteo, do you know where they're sourcing it from? They're sourcing all these mango woods from Indonesia. The relationship with the Cortec guys and the dealers that they have, the timber wood dealers that they have in Indonesia, actually introduced them to mango. These woods, these mango woods, are all from Indonesia right now. That's where they're sourcing it from. Funny, huh? Indonesia's playing such an important role in the guitar world these days. My lord, it's insane. But yeah, these are Indonesian mango woods. Yeah. Yeah. Yo, Killa says, heard that line before, Mr. Sorenzo. Which line? Which line did you hear? That I'm not going to buy a new guitar? I bet you. I don't know which ones you're talking about, but I bet you that's the line. No, I'm serious. Look, like if I'm to buy a new guitar, it is going to be a secondhand guitar. It's insane. It just doesn't financially make sense otherwise. Yeah, I knew it. True. But the thing is, again, and we talked about this on one of the streams, right? I bought this Strandberg guitar, the last one I bought a week or two ago, right? An OS6 guitar that with less good pickups is sold for 3,800 Australian dollars, right? So 35 US, 34 US, right? So that guitar, I bought it for 1,600 with upgraded pickups. So the pickups are the ones that they put like in their $12,000 guitars. Like I got that guitar with upgraded Sir pickups for 1,600. Less than half price. Better less than half price. Why the heck should I buy a first-hand guitar ever? See what I'm coming from here? Like why? You know, it doesn't make any sense. Like no one, like if I'm to recommend anybody, I actually, again, tell you the story. I have a new student that we were talking about getting him a new guitar, and I was literally telling him, like, look, man, if you know somebody that knows guitars and has bought secondhand guitars before, buy secondhand. Yeah. Doroteo says, do you ever play the 12-bar blues in E? Any tips? No. Like I usually play blues in A. That's usually where I roam when it comes to blues. But I mostly like play like I solo over it. I just have like backing tracks and I solo over it, not the rhythm part. So if the question, Doroteo, is about me soloing over a 12-bar blues, yes. I do that for hobby once in a while, for like have fun with it. But it's usually an A. I like to play it in A for some reason. Yeah. Sean says, I have a tip. Get a looper and just play. It's almost as much as fun as jamming with a friend. That's a really good point. You're right. Loopers are fun. Loopers are a lot of fun. Sean's right. I agree. Ryu says, Yamaha makes a mango budget bass. I have a mango tree in my front yard. Oh, nice. Okay. And I didn't know Yamaha does that. Yamaha mango wood bass? I didn't know that. I don't know anything about basses. Ah, voila. Look at that. Yeah. No. Ryu is right. As always. Look at that. That's the mango bass. That's the mango Yamaha bass. Man, you got such a wealth of knowledge, Ryu. You really do. Like introducing the every time we talk about guitars and gears, you know a lot. Hats off to you. Yeah. Broader than mine. I only know electric guitars. Like you guys, most of you guys know like amps and basses and other things. So hats off to you guys. You have a mango tree in your front yard too? Nice. All right, let's slowly jump to the next item on the docket. Sean says, the only guitar I bought new was my acoustic. You're a smart man. You're a smart man. Ryu says, secondhand is sustainable and repurposeful. 100%. Otherwise, Sean says, otherwise secondhand is the way to go. Yeah, 100%, dude. 100%. Yeah. It's just painful right now, the market. All right. Shall we jump to the next item on the docket? This was one of the like a very rare instances where an article is great and makes sense online. So I thought to share that with you guys. The article is, if I can get to that, there we go. The article says, what's the point of painting a guitar anyway? And does it make any difference to the sound? And it's a long article. If you guys are interested, check it out. It's on guitar.com. But I thought there were some interesting things they brought up which are accurate in this article. The first one being that you have to distinguish the difference between a paint job and a stain job, right? With painting, you have a layer of paint coating over the material, right? Like you paint a wall. There is paint on the wall. You can't even like crack it and peel it off. But there is a layer that forms over the bottom layer. That's how you paint something and a guitar, right? A stain job, on the other hand, it doesn't form a layer on top of your guitar. What it does, it recolors your guitar. Like imagine you drop a bottle of red wine on a white carpet, and then you panic and you wipe it and try to go clean it up. But even then, you see those red stains stay on the carpet. Now, if you touch the carpet after it dries, it has the same texture, has the same fluff, has the same whatever. But now the color of it has changed. That's a stain job. Does that make sense? So there's a difference between color and staining. The question is, does painting a job have an impact on the sound of the guitar? Right. So now, here's a factual thing. This is how this works. When it comes to the sound of your guitar, one thing we care about a lot is how much the wood resonates as you pluck a string, body and the neck, right? The important factor, guys, when it comes to paint jobs and stain jobs and applying finish as well, is how much applying that chokes the resonance in the wood. The more it chokes it, the less good it is. Do you know what I mean? That's the general idea behind it. Now, with finish, you get to sort of have like as thin as possible, because finish, essentially what it is just encapsulates the body and the neck, right? It's just that it's like a cover, right? It just sort of like seals the guitar, for the lack of a better word, so that moisture doesn't go in, the guitar keeps its stability and things of that nature. And we talked about nitrocellulose, we talked about cab, we talked about all these stuff before. With paint, you have that layer extra on top. So there is an argument to be made is that if the paint is thick on the guitar, it is going to impact the resonance. But as this article correctly says, good old Fender guitars, you know what kind of paint they were using on the guitar? Car paints. So the sound part is a little bit subjective, I suppose, right? And lastly, the thing about paint jobs is that you can cover imperfections in the wood. And that's why more affordable guitars are almost always painted, because you get different pieces of wood that their wood grains might not necessarily align. They might not necessarily look as good, but when you paint over them, you get to hide them. In fact, this is the reason why Gibson has the gold top. So the gold top Gibson guitars back in the day, the wood, even now, the woods that they use on the top and the body of the guitar are the woods that don't necessarily look good. Sorry. Are the woods that necessarily don't look good, and they cover them with a gold color, right? And they made it gold because they wanted to make the guitar expensive and a luxury item, essentially. Yeah. Ryu says natural is usually more expensive these days, 100%. Sean says, my thought is a natural finish means you need to use a better quality wood, if only visual. So it's understandable that it's more expensive. Yeah, no, 100%, you're right. 100% right. You're absolutely right. So that's essentially the idea behind like the discussion when it comes to like, paint jobs and stain jobs. what I loved about this article was that it says, okay, it's about the thickness of whatever you apply on top of the wood when it comes to the impact on the sound of your guitar, right? That's what I think that was great. So it says a finish seals the guitar, whether we're talking about a thick coat of polyester in a modern Squire or a wafer thin layer of nitro on a custom shop Strat. The coating is the barrier against moisture, dust, UV light, yada yada, right? Guitar finishes as a category have evolved in roughly a chronological order from barely to like really thick, essentially, right? Now, where was the part that was talking about the Fender stuff that I thought you guys gotta... The second reason for painting a guitar is one the marketing department won't put on the spec sheet. Paint height things, bodies, especially at the affordable end of the market. So there we go. Bodies, especially at the affordable end of the market, are often made from multi-piece blanks, woods with inconsistent grains, or cuts that wouldn't look particularly impressive under a transparent finish. This is why you'll occasionally see an old refinished Fender stripped bare to reveal a body that was clearly never meant for the spotlight. Right. So you guys are exactly right. But the Fender custom colors back in the day were quite literally car paints. Fiesta Red came from Ford. Lake Placid came from Cadillac. Daphne Blue, also Cadillac. And Sonic Blue was lifted from a 56 Cadillac color chart. So all of Fender's in-house mixes during the 50s and 60s, which is supposedly the golden era, Sunburst, Blonde, eventually Candy Apple Red, everything else was borrowed from the automotive world. So, talking about thickness of the paint and all that jazz, and how everybody likes 50s and 60s, there's an argument to be made that maybe the type of color or that thickness won't have that crazy amount of impact. So so the thickness is real, but and the impact of that on the vibration of the wood. But I thought this was a really interesting article. If you guys were interested, check it out. In my opinion, I think one of the beauties of the guitar is the wood, is the Mother Nature. I think nothing beats Mother Nature. But yeah. Ryu says factory burst mess-ups can be fixed with a second paint layer when you get an Easter egg when it mojo's off. Yeah. Automotive paint is toxic AF. You're absolutely right. There was a time, if you go back and read some of the old articles or articles about the good old days, a lot of guitar factory workers, guitar shop workers were getting intoxicated from toxic paints and other toxic materials that might not be necessarily used anymore, but they were used back in the day. You're right. Yeah. So that's the idea. Yeah, I thought this was a great article. If you guys want to have a bit of a dive into the finish world and the guitar color world, I think that's a great one. So to check it out. Doroteo says Malmsteen plays acoustic guitar too. I didn't know that. Okay, I thought he was all about his Strat, because he has this really creamy Fender Strat. That I've always seen him with that. I've never seen him with a. I mean, I guess he plays acoustics too, right? Why is that a surprise? Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. What was the thing that I wanted to bring up? You guys remember I told you guys there was a funny story I wanted to share with you? What was it? Something happened and I wanted to tell you guys that story of it. But I completely forgot. We were talking about Ed Sheeran's PRS. And I said something. Oh, God damn it, I forgot it. It was a funny story too. What happened to me last week? Yeah. Ryu says, does Sensei own anything with a natural finish? Yeah. Yeah, do you guys want to see it? I'll show it to you. Be right back. Here you go. Hawaiian Koa. And then the back plate, the back is golden African Karina. And a bird's eye maple neck. And I love it. It's natural finish. It looks beautiful. Like just Mother Nature always wins, man. Mother Nature always wins. It's always the best. Yeah. There we go. I remember now the funny story I want to tell you guys. So, you guys remember we had a chat about Fender, and legal stuff that they're doing and all that. For those who don't know, very briefly, Fender start to go after everybody in Europe that sells Stratocaster-shaped guitars because they got their Stratocaster body copyrighted as an artwork. And in the lawsuit, when they were doing the arguments in the court, they talked about how the Strat shape was inspired by curves of a body of a woman with the horns of the Stratocaster reaching out for the horizons of inspiration. They literally did that, right? And they did that and they won the copyright case because the other side, the Chinese manufacturers that they were suing, didn't show up in court. They won that case. It became precedent in Europe. We talked about it on the last stream in detail. Check it out if you haven't. So if you guys follow like different guitar stores like Guitar Center, Andertons, Thomanns in Europe and all that, every time there was a post about a Fender or a Squier, those posts got flooded with comments about how people are upset about, Fender doing what they did. And they're like, all right, boycott Fender, boycott Squier, whatever not, right? So they really went after it. Big YouTube guitar personalities and bass personalities. Danny Sapko, who's a bass player, went after Fender hard. And he actually had a working relationship with Fender. So hats off to him for his consistency. Like he's been consistent. He believes something, he tells you what he believes, and he acts on it. So he actually burned some bridges with Fender. I don't think his relationship will be the same with Fender ever again, despite the fact that he was actually literally doing content with Fender like a week before he posted his video. So I respect his consistency and his authenticity and honesty. I really do. Anyways, Fender caught a lot of grief this week from the guitar buying community, and I was like watching and following it and all that, and I couldn't help myself. So I was like, all right, I gotta crack a joke or something, like make fun of it in one way or the other. So Andertons started to do a 25% discount on a Squier guitar, and I posted this comment under their thing. I'm like, does the Squier also have the body carves of a woman with the horns reaching out for the horizons of inspiration? Yes or no? And if yes, what kind of woman body curve are we talking about? Sydney Sweeney style or Lizzo style? And I was just like, I was in tears. I was dead when I was typing it. And I'm like, surely they're going to delete that comment. They didn't. So if you go and check out that Squier post that they did 2-3 days ago, my comment is still there. I couldn't help myself. I really couldn't help myself. You know what's so weird? And again, this is something people, like not many people, I guess, don't know, but you guys know. Fender and Squier brand got a lot of anger again, like it got a lot of trashing this week. But then other brands that FMIC, Fender Musical Instrument Corp, the mother corp that owns Fender and Squier brands, other brands that they also own got none of it. Like you didn't see any of that with like Jackson guitars or Charvel guitars or Bigsby, right? Those are all owned by the same company. Reverb, Dorothy Ryu says, didn't Fender buy? Yes, Fender bought Reverb, and 2 items later on the stream, we're going to actually talk about it. About Reverb doing a deal with Guitar Center. Fender also owns Reverb. So everything that Fender owns like wasn't impacted, just the Fender and Squier brand. But then there was no difference between a Squier and a Jackson. They're both owned by the same company in that sense. So I was surprised. Like I thought, I was wondering, I'm like, is this going to also spread towards Charvel and Jackson and others? No, it really, people just were like mad at Squier and Fender. So I'm like, that's insane. It's the mother company. But yeah. So there we go. Speaking of which, shall we talk about the next item on the docket? This was a new guitar, and again, I was hesitant to talk about it. Dorothy says, bruh. Yep, I hear you. I had to do it. I had to do it. George Gilbert, thank you very much for subscribing to the channel. Good to see you, pal. How are you doing, George? Yeah, let's talk about the next guitar on the docket. I was really hesitant to talk about it because it's owned by FMIC, but not all. I thought I don't want to cover anything FMIC owned, but you guys might not share my feeling about what Fender is doing, and it wouldn't be fair to you guys to not keep you in the loop. So I'm going to talk about it anyways, out of the respect for you guys, as opposed to letting my own feelings and thoughts on Fender take over. So let's talk about the next guitar, which is genuinely an interesting guitar. It is the new Misha Mansour limited edition signature Juggernut from Jackson. It's an 8-string guitar, and it got sold out like a day it was out. Like they released it, I don't know, 4 days ago, something like that. But I thought this was an interesting guitar. Sean, if you're watching, and I don't know whether this is something that catches your eye or not, but there is a guitar shop in Sydney that actually got one in stock as we speak. So anyone who's interested, it's there. Anyways, so this guitar is out. The first interesting thing about it for me was Evertune. And Evertune is to me is a good idea for a 7 or 8 string guitar, because if you guys haven't owned a 7 or 8 string before, tuning those 7th and 8th strings to perfection sometimes is a challenge if your guitar has a slightly shorter scale length. So if you have something like that, an Evertune there, you fine tune it, you intonate it, you sorted it out, and then it hopefully stays in tune with the Evertune, you know? Yeah. Doroteo says Jackson's from the 80s and 90s are the Sirius Axes. I hear you. Yeah, I know. Well, let's be honest. The coloring was much more interesting. Like they really put effort into the coloring schemes and the way they colored and painted and stained those guitars. That's for sure. This particular color, by the way, is called Nardo Gray. And I don't know what Nardo is. So that's the guitar. Shall we hear it first? So let's hear the guitar being played, and it's Misha Mansour's guitar, so you guys can almost expect, you kind of know how it's gonna sound like. So let's play this baby, and I'm gonna give you guys some serious volume too, so you guys enjoy the shred, the riff, and the insanity. Here we go. Brace yourselves. this song, by the way, I'm gonna have to mute it after the stream, so you guys were watching me live hear it, and we can hear it and listen to it and all that. But after the streams, I might actually have to remove this section or mute this section rather, because of copyright. Because what we just heard was a new Periphery song. So if you guys know the band Periphery, which Misha is a co-founder of, they are a gent band. Periphery is the name, and the song that he just played for us is called Subhuman, which is my favorite song in the record. They released this new record a week ago. It's called A Pale White Dot. It's their new album. A week ago, 10 days ago, something like that. It got released, and this song is my favorite song in there. It's called Subhuman because of this section. Listen to it. Here. There, here. Oh, so good. Oops. Are we there still? I just got disconnected for a second. Yep. I think we're there. Hello? Are we live? I think we just got disconnected for a second. Hello, hello? For a second. Yep. All right, we're back live again. Sorry, guys. Our connection suddenly got lost. But yeah, what I was saying is that the song that he just played is the song called Subhuman by Periphery. Ryu gives thumbs up. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah. So that is the new guitar. Ryu says Nardo is a test racetrack owned by Volkswagen, I think. Paint color from Audi. Interesting. Didn't know that. Doroteo says loud and clear. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Yeah, we just got disconnected momentarily. So there you have it, folks. This is the sound of the guitar. So this is the kind of sound we're going for. This is the guitar in more detail. Electronics are really nice and simple. We like that. It's a Juggernut shape. Yeah. There we go. And it's Indonesian made. And it's IC. So it's also made in Court. It's also made in Court. Cortec is building everything we're talking about right now, huh? So this guitar is 27 inches in scale. So, okay, so this 8-string guitar has a shorter scale than Ed Sheeran's Baritone. And it's an 8-string. I don't get it. Like, I don't understand why we couldn't make this 27 and a half or something a little longer if it's an 8-string guitar. Yeah. This one's a little weird to me. Like, I was hoping for a little more. Like 27 and a half, 27.7, just like the 6-string Baritone. Because you have that 8-string, and then tuning that 8-string low is going to be difficult. But anyways. Poplar body, bolt-on caramelized maple neck with graphite reinforcement and a scarf joint and an oiled back finish. Dig this. So, yeah, interesting. 20-inch radius, not a surprise. It's a modern guitar. Flat radius on a fingerboard is not a surprise at all. 24 jumbo stainless steel frets, heel mount truss rod, lumen lace side dots, and what is that? Misha Mansour 1 pickups, essentially. Which is like his signature stuff. Yeah, interesting. Interesting. And then the strings are Horizon devices. Has anyone ever heard of that before? I've never heard of that before. Horizon devices string, progressive tension, standard 8. Surprised. I knew Periphery used the D'Addario NYXLs. I know Jake and Mark Holcomb used the D'Addarios. I didn't know he moved on to another string brand. Interesting. And this guitar comes with a gig bag, essentially. So overall, it's simple. It's a one-trick pony in a lot of ways. And like the specs on this is not a surprise. But yeah, there was a new release that was out that I thought it was an interesting guitar overall. I find Misha Mansour's stuff really interesting. His guitars are usually something that like I like. Simple, straight to the point, knows what he wants them for, and things of that nature. So there you have it, folks. That was the next guitar I wanted to have a chat with you guys about on the stream. there you have it. Yeah. All right. Now, Ryu, I think it was Ryu that talked about Fender buying Reverb. And let's talk about that in 1 second. And then I got one more guitar only to talk about, and we'll wrap it up. Ryu very correctly said that last year, I think it was last year, Fender bought Reverb. So for those who don't know, Reverb is this website that you go to. It's probably the most popular website for secondhand guitars. I'll share my screen with you guys to see it. There you go. This is Reverb, and you can buy guitars from anywhere across the world, and pedals too. It used to be specifically for secondhand guitars. This website, this service was made by Chicago Music Center, which then they later sold it, and now Fender is the owner of this website essentially. At the time when Fender bought Reverb, there was a lot of concern about whether Fender guitars or anything that is owned by FMIC is going to get a boost on this website, is going to have an advantage on this website, and things of that nature. So that was a concern. I don't think that has come to fruition yet. I think so far, at the very least, it's not heavy towards Fender-owned guitars. However, what they did after Fender bought this platform, what they did is that they put a serious emphasis on reverb bumps. And reverb bumps essentially is when you pay Reverb like money for them to put your listing more, make your listing more visible, put it at the top of the list. It's like Google ads, right? You have Google ads, and when you search, somebody pays for those ads, and when you Google something, those ads appear first, and then your organic search results. It's exactly like that. It's called a reverb bump. They really started to push reverb bump stuff, which wasn't nice. So it kind of reduced the fun of surfing on Reverb a little. But this company, this Reverb thing, is owned by Fender now, as Ryu very correctly said. Ryu says it has an app and global listings. I couldn't have said it better myself. That's exactly right. And so Reverb initially was designed to be this place for secondhand guitars. And then every other major guitar seller, every other store started to jump on it. And they're selling their stuff on Reverbs too. So Reverb is no longer this sort of like pure secondhand place where people would go and, buy and sell stuff. A lot of businesses are now having pages on Reverb and selling stuff on Reverb too. Now, that was a quick history of it. Guitar Center and Reverb this week did a deal, like finalized the deal and announced it, that they'll be working together. And it was an really interesting article. So we've got the company on a good trajectory. Now we're playing offense. Guitar Center has joined forces with the founder of Reverb. What does this mean for a retail giant? So David Calt spearheaded Reverb for 6 years and has been brought on board as Guitar Center enters a new era. Guitar Center has appointed Reverb founder as the board of directors and as an independent member. It's a significant move from a firm that is currently undergoing some serious changes, with CEO Gabe Del Porto spearheading businesses, changing model, and relaunching musicians' friends. So, by the way, Gabe Del Porto, so before the new CEO, he's really awesome if you watch his interviews. Before he joined Reverb, before he joined Guitar Center was on like a 9 quarterly loss, like 9 quarters back to back. They were losing or breaking even. And I think since he came in, he's made the company profitable again. Like there's talks about, I don't know, 6 or 7 quarters that things are getting better. Guitar Center still has problems, but the guy is really doing a good job from all the interviews and everything I'm reading and hearing. Anyways, so Calt founded Reverb in 2013. Turned it into a major player in online sales, positioning the site as one of the largest digital marketplaces with $1 billion in annual transactions. It was acquired by Etsy in 2019 and became independent once more in 2025. No, that's not correct. It's owned by Fender. it's not independent in 2025. So that bit is not accurate. And he also previously grew Chicago Music Exchange. So essentially, yeah, this is what we were talking about, how companies are going towards secondhand. This is, again, another signal. Like we talked about how all stores are picking up secondhand stuff. This is it. Like Guitar Center is going to play a much bigger role in the secondhand market, and they see that's where the trends are going. And again, we talked about it, right? Why not? It's cheaper. You can find better stuff for much cheaper. It only makes sense. Now, the reason I wanted to bring this up is that as, you know, companies and businesses start to get into the business of buying and selling secondhand stuff, it's good and bad for the average guitar buyer. And this is the discussion I wanted to have with you guys. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. Let's go to this page, so if you guys share your thoughts, I can see it right away. Here's the thing. Suppose you're going to go and sell your secondhand guitar, not directly, but sell it to Guitar Center or your local store or wherever, right? Because that's how they get secondhand stuff, right? They either go and find the sellers themselves, or in parallel, they will get people to come to them and sell their stuff to them, and then they sell it to somebody else, right? So they play the middleman, essentially, on the secondhand stuff. The good thing for the guitar buyer, the advantage, is that in all likelihood, when you buy a secondhand guitar from a store, some stores do it, some don't, you get some quality checks, you get some quality controls. A business that is in the business of somebody who's in the business of buying and selling guitars, right? Quality checks it, because if it's not good, they wouldn't buy it themselves. They know that if they buy something not good, they're not going to be able to sell it, right? So they got that layer going on. They got that additional control going on, right? So if you are a person that never bought a guitar before and you want to buy a secondhand guitar for cheaper, this is really good for you. Because you can now go to a store, buy something cheaper that is as good and has some sort of a quality check on it, right? Not every store has a solid quality check on secondhand stuff, by the way, guys. Like I bought the Gibson Les Paul I had to refret it. And when I asked them online, I'm like, hey, is the frets good or bad or whatever not? They were like, oh, no, it's perfect. It's great. And then I brought it home and I'm like, God damn it, I got to refret this thing, right? So not every store does that. So that's the first thing. On the other hand, though, it is going to increase the price of secondhand guitars, right? Because for example, assume for a second that a guitar can be worth $1,000 secondhand. So the market, on average, is willing to pay $1,000 for a secondhand guitar. Okay, if that's the case, the guitar shop is probably going to be willing to buy that for $700. Right? So something that you could directly buy from the seller for $700, guitar store is selling you for $1,000. Do you know what I'm talking about here? Because they're going to have to add their own markup to it too, right? So if you know how to buy guitars, if you have bought secondhand guitars before, you have a list, you're disciplined, you do the quality controls, you check everything, you play it in person, you still can buy it a lot cheaper directly from a human being as opposed to buying it from a store. The store obviously gives you at least the illusion, either real or fake, but at least the idea of, oh, there's some sort of a quality control, some sort of a security there. So for me, I'm like, for me personally, this is not ideal. I'd rather buy my guitars directly from people because I have an easier job negotiating it, and I know that I don't need to pay another middleman a markup, like something on top. For first-time guitar buyers who want to buy something secondhand, this is good news. Yeah. Sean says, don't forget the trade-in discount on new instrument. Oh, that's a great point. Another advantage of a store, right? You could go and give your older guitar or secondhand guitar back to them, and then use the money on that as a credit to buy new instruments from that store. Perfect. Great point. Great point. You know, it's good. It makes the secondhand guitar available to the market. It allows the companies to sell more new products. So yeah, and you get to have a discount as a guitar buyer. So it's a nice deal. It's a good thing to have. I agree with you. You're right, Sean. Ryu says, and you can return a Reverb bought axe at a Guitar Center. Yeah, dude, they should go on a. They should, you know, the fact that they partnered up with the founder of Reverb is interesting. They should join forces with Reverb. I think they should. I really think they should. Not only because, like, you know, they're the biggest retailers of Fender guitars in America and around the world. Not around the world, just America. Sorry, why did I say around the world? Other than the fact that they're like the biggest retailer of Fender guitars in America, that Reverb platform is just super good. Like, you can do a lot of interesting things if they join forces together. I don't know if they will. I think they should. Yeah. Ryu says they don't mark up but take a cut as a deal broker. Sorry, hold on. They don't mark up but they take a cut as a deal broker. Are we talking about Guitar Center? So, like, if you take your secondhand guitar there, they don't do a markup, but they take a cut as a deal broker? Yes and no. You're right. I hear your point, because at the end of the day, you can't really, you know, force the market to buy something overtly expensive. You're right on that sense. Yeah, I hear you. You're right. I still have a feeling that maybe I should say it this way. You're right on this. I'm wrong on this. I'm Ryu. Maybe I should have said it this way. I should have said it creates a pressure to push the prices up on the secondhand guitars. Because I said it, it will. That's not accurate. You're right. Thanks for correcting me there. I think it's safe to say that it creates a force, like a pressure, creates a factor to increase the prices, but doesn't mean it necessarily will. Because a lot of times they won't be able to. You're right. They can't mark up, but the only thing they can do is to take a cut as a deal broker. You're absolutely right. Thanks for correcting me on that. Yeah. Dorotio says, Guitar Center's and Musician's Friend is the same company. Ah, okay. Interesting. Yeah, no. Guitar Center and Musician Friends is the same company. Yeah, you're right on that. No, I know that. Like, for a second, I thought Reverb and Musician's Friend. I was like, no, they're not. Guitar Center and Musician Friends is the same company. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. I thought you said Guitar Center, and I read, like, I read Guitar Center, but I thought Reverb. And I'm like, no, they're not. They're competitors. Yeah. Guitar Center and Musician Friends, the same company. Sure. But yeah, I think they should, man. I want to see more of this stuff. Like, I want to see a more structured, systematic, market, like systematic thing for people to deal in secondhand guitars. And the reason I want that, like, I think it's better for everybody, is that right now, too much, like, when it comes to purchasing secondhand guitars, there is too much trust in the equation. And that's not a good system, right? You want to have a system, a workflow that takes trust out, like, you can take the trust out of the equation. If you can do that, that's a winner. Like, if there is a way to grade secondhand gear systematically, not just, it's in good condition with a little bit of this, with a little bit of that, like something very detailed of the state of the electronics, state of the guitar, that gives it a score perhaps to make it easier to understand for especially like first-time buyers or people who are not professional buyers, right? Something systematic that scores every guitar, and it can be universally used by different companies, by different retailers. Do you know what I mean? I think that's a winner. If you can have something unified like that, something universal, a universal scoring system for secondhand guitars, I think everybody wins. Make it systematic, make it transparent, and take trust out of it. If that system can be created, I don't know whether Guitar Center and Reverb are to do it, if David Colt is to do it, I don't know. But if they can do something like that, that's a huge winner. Yeah. Doroteo says, I have a generic brand Guitar Center guitar, Mitchell MS450, made in Vietnam, and it's high quality. I got it for $200 on a Black Friday sale, 9th, 2022. Nice. Okay. Well, Guitar Center is doing like in their own brand of guitar now, right? They're working on a new guitar. Gabe Del Porto announced it on Instagram and got a lot of shit for it. But Guitar Center is designing a new guitar now. So it'll be interesting to see how that guitar is. It'll be very interesting to see. I'd be keen to see that. But yeah. All right. Guys, let's jump onto the last item on the docket. And then we'll talk about... I have 2 more guitars I want to talk to you guys about. We'll talk about the last one in the next stream. But really quickly wanted to talk about this guitar. Because it's been on our docket for 2 streams now, and we never got the time to do it. So I thought to quickly go through it and talk about it with you guys, because it's hitting the markets now. It's still slowly going out, and I see it happening online. Check this out. So this is a Chapman Legacy Scout, which is essentially their super strat. So you have the Scout Legacy, which has 2 humbuckers. And then you have the Scout Traditional, which has a single coil humbucker config, right? This guitar, I thought it has a really nice super strat shape. The shape kind of reminded me of the Music Man Rabia signature. These guitars are made in India, if I'm not mistaken. And let's talk about them. So, check this out. You have an all rosewood neck on this guitar. Chapman love, finally, says Doroteo. Yeah, Doroteo. For those who don't know, Doroteo is the Chapman guy. He's a huge, like, Chapman to Doroteo is like PRS to me. So I get it. I understand the feelings, dude. So it has an all rosewood neck, which is interesting. Right off the bat, you don't see that often, do you? Ryu says, will Fender be suing? Will it be a surprise? I don't know. I don't think so. I won't be surprised at all if suddenly... I have a feeling that they're probably going for smaller players first, and then for the bigger fish. And Chapman is not the biggest of all fishes, but they're not like really small either. So, I don't know. I hope not. I hope Bob Chapman gets to enjoy making his guitars and people enjoy the products. Like, why would... Yeah, anyways. Fender, man. Yeah, Fender's suing everybody and their dog, too. Yeah, you're right. The dog goes... Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I don't know, man. I hope... If they decide to go after people, I hope everybody gangs up against them and teach them a lesson. And you know, like, man, put all that money for lawsuits just to work on the quality of your product, and you'll win everybody else in like, they already have the brand name anyways. Just win the competition on quality, and you already own the market. Why would you... Anyways, yeah. You know, why would you even do that and take all this crap from your loyal buyers are now unhappy with you, right? Anywho. So, all rosewood neck on the guitar is interesting because more often than not, right, you see rosewood as a fretboard, right? And the reason rosewood is used on the fretboard quite often is because rosewood is a hard wood, right? More often than not, unless like you have a maple fingerboard, right? Your fingerboard woods are usually made of a really hard wood because there's no finish or anything on it. That piece of wood is in direct contact with the outer world, moisture, dirt, you know, sweat, whatever. That's why you need a really hard wood there so that it can resist it, but also to keep it ultra stable, right? So in that sense, rosewood actually is a really good wood for the neck too, not just fingerboard. Again, it's a hard wood, it's stable, it dries. Like you can dry it properly in a drying process. You don't see a only rosewood neck that often. Now, given that these are made in India, I wonder whether the rosewood is also Indian sourced. It makes perfect sense. It only makes sense. So that's that. You got a 25.5-inch scale with 22 jumbo stainless steel frets. And this time around, Bob Chapman is using his own pickups in there. So these are made in partnership with Wilkinson. A ceramic Chapman bridge humbucker delivers an aggressive punchy tones, while a GT neck humbucker, Alnico 5, has a warm and expressive voice to it. Chapman, at some point, was using Seymour Duncan's. And I don't remember, you guys correct me if I'm wrong. I know at some point they were also using, what's that brand that Ibanez used to use to a lot? Guys, what's the pickup brand in old Tim Henson's guitar? And it's on my Telecaster too. Why do I forgot that name? Tim Henson old signature guitar. And I'm going to hate myself after nope, this one. What was that brand? Ugh, why don't I remember the pickup brand name? Block. Specs. DiMarzio. How is it that I don't remember DiMarzio? I know that in some of the guitars, no, DiMarzio's right. It's like, I can't believe I don't remember DiMarzio. I'm thinking D'Addario, and I'm like, no, I know it's not D'Addario. DiMarzio. At some point, I know they use DiMarzios too. So Seymour Duncan and DiMarzios, they used to use that on some of their older guitars back in the ML days, ML1 and ML3 days. But they're going with their own pickups now, which is interesting. So now, this guitar comes in 4 different finishes, 3 of which have a maple fingerboard. So you have a rosewood neck and a maple fingerboard, which is interesting. That Shadow Burst looks really good, by the way. Looks really good. Ryu says they have a Telly and a Strat-shaped cutting board on the Sweetwater site. Do they? I'll check it after this. Remind me to check it after this. So anyways, you got the Shadow Burst, Tiger Eye Burst, Electric Sky, and a Blood Moon. Those are the thing. Flame Maple top veneers. They're using veneers there. All their body. And a reveal binding. Neck, we talk about it as a rosewood neck, rosewood fingerboard, or maple in this sense from the looks of it. Looks maple to me. 25.5-inch scale, 22 stainless steel fret, 42 mil black tusk nut, so the strings are closer together. Neck width is 43 mils, so what is that? Half a mil on either side of the nut falls. That what? So neck width on the first is 43, and then 52 on the 12th. And then thickness is 21 mil on the first and 22 mils on the 12th. So it's got like a medium neck thickness, I guess. Medium, more closer to like thicker. 14-inch radius, so it's flatter than your average Fender and Gibson. Bolt-on neck, not a surprise there. And a headstock angle of 8 degrees. Isn't it interesting? So the 8 degree headstock angle, so this guitar like is not made like, the headstock bit at least is not made with like a Fender guitar building paradigm. Right. It doesn't have that steep 17 degree angle, but it has an 8 degrees angle. So that sort of saves you from the extra cost of having to add string trees and so not just the material, but also the labor. It streamlines the production thing. I think that's the reason why that 8 degrees is there. Yeah. And then you have the Chapman 6 in a line locking tuners. like that. String through hardtail, like that. The bridge is a winner, I think. 500K volume and tone, not a surprise there. And it has a, what is that, 0.22 capacitor? Fair enough. With treble bleed. All right, shall we listen to this? By the way, before we even listen to this, isn't Bob Chapman a tank? Like, he has a build of a tank. Look at those legs. Like, I've seen it. If you guys seen him, like, playing live, he usually, more often than not, he wears, like, you know, long sleeve pants, like long pants. And you see him, those legs are thick. And, like, I'm like, every time I see him, like, he's built like a tank. And I'm like looking at his calves. I'm like, holy smoke. I don't think he works them out. I think he was just born with them. Because he's not like a ripped gym junkie. He doesn't have that look. Holy shit. Those legs are. Look at those legs. All right, let me pause the music. Let's have a listen to the guitar. And Ryu, remind me of the chopping board. I don't want to miss that one. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. These are just shorts. Are there like longer format versions of those or no? Okay. Here we go. I'm still distracted by the legs. No, jokes aside. That's, yeah, so still like hard rock vibe. And this is like Bob Chapman, right? So it kind of makes sense to get like guitars that are, you know, kind of sit in that vibe, kind of sit in that territory. Let's watch another one. This one was a really quick and short one, so let's watch this. Nice. So there you have it, folks. Yeah, interesting, huh? These are interesting. Like, I remember when Bob Chapman was at NAMM, the NAMM show this year. He was talking about how the focus of the new batches of these guitars from this year onwards is going to be more for the performer in mind. Like, they have the performers, live players in mind when they're producing these guitars. And that's the outcome of it, essentially. You know, in-house pickups. Nice neck hug there, by the way. Bolt-on necks, rosewood necks. Yeah. Interesting. You don't see rosewood necks that often around. You don't see it that often. But anyways, I thought this guitar was on our dockets for like 2-3 weeks, and I never got the chance to get to it. And I thought, all right, well, let's just talk about it, because I wanted to talk about it for a while. More and more guitars are having these minimalistic bridges, by the way. I love it. I really love it. Yeah.
If this moment disappears, let it fade.
Oh, wow. Zuhair is back. Hey, man. Says, good night, Sorenzo. Good night, my man. Take good care of yourself. Be safe. Have a great Sunday. Kick some rare end this weekend, shall we? Zuhair, by the way, guys, works really hard. Zuhair got 2 jobs. He lives in New York State, and the man is a hard worker, and still found time for gym, huh? You guys, like, yeah, man, I gotta start hitting the gym again. Zuhair works 2 jobs and hits the gym still, and I gotta lift my game up. So hats off to you, man. Have a great weekend. Have a great weekend. Doroteo says DiMarzios are Ibanez's go-to humbuckers. You're right. Yeah, a lot of DiMarzios and Ibanez's. I can't believe I couldn't remember it. The name. Like, there's sometimes when my brain goes like completely blank. And then I got you guys to rescue me, so thanks for that, man. Like, you guys. Doroteo says, Ora levato. Hell yeah. Zuhair is good peoples. Hell yeah. No, good guy, Zuhair. We like him. He's a good guy. All right. Shall we do one last thing before I let you guys go? And I didn't do it in the middle of the stream, but still, I'm going to do it. So it'll be unfair for me not to do it. It'll be not good. Guys, we're going to do my favorite part of the stream at the end. My slab of soda has not arrived. I ordered it and I thought it's going to arrive today. It didn't. So we're going to do tea, but I left this particular mug away for this moment. My special favorite part of the stream. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And I know I usually do this in the middle of the stream, so forgive me, but can't thank you guys enough. On a weekend, it's a highlight of the week for me. With you guys coming in and we talk and chat about guitars, and you guys teach me so much. You guys inspire me so much. Like, I'm tempted to just go to a gym after the stream and just sign up and get back to it. With Doroteo and Zuhair talking about it. How great is this community of ours? In all sincerity. So, yeah, man. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Cheers. Drinking this to your health and to your loved ones. Have a great weekend, and I just hope you guys are well and happy. Cheers to your health, guys. And with that said, I think it's time to call it a day. Once again, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Doroteo, Zuhair, Ryu, Yo Asakura on Twitch, Yo Killa on YouTube, Sean. Who did I miss? I don't think I missed anybody that put the George Gilbert. By the way, I also kind of hopped in the middle. Guys, thank you so much for all of you for hanging out with me. Have a great weekend, and I will see you in the next. Take a good care of yourselves.